Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Carter. A little bit about me is I come from a small town of Wingham, Ontario. I enjoy spending time with my family and friends. My future holds for me to be a full-time firefighter and a dietitian. I really enjoy learning about diabetes. I know that diabetes does have its ups and its downs. When I first got interested in learning about diabetes is when my grandfather was first diagnosed. I was quite young when he was first diagnosed. However, it has made me come to realize that fueling the body and eating properly, exercising daily is very important. My grandfather is on an insulin needle that he takes twice a day. Now they say that diabetes is 80% genetics. The common body shape of diabetes is such as thinner legs and a heavier stomach. While my grandfather is a slender man and a hard-working farmer for many years. I am a lot like him, but I definitely do not want diabetes. I have always been interested in learning more about diabetes and working with diabetics. As we are a close family, I want to better my knowledge, therefore I can better my family members' knowledge as well. Firstly, what is diabetes? Well, it is when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin for the body. Insulin is a hormone that helps the body control the level of glucose or sugar in the blood. If you have type 1 diabetes, then glucose builds up in the blood instead of being used for energy. Most type 1 diabetics are under the age of 30. Most often in the childhood or early teens. Type 2 is when glucose does not respond with the body's cells. Also, there isn't enough insulin being produced and therefore isn't working properly. Type 2 is common in people that are overweight and unfit for a long time, normally after the age of 30. Some risks. Some may say they are hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic. Hypoglycemic occurs when a person's blood glucose or sugar falls below the necessary level of the body to work properly, to produce energy and stabilize the cells. Some symptoms of hypoglycemic are cold, pale skin, numbness around the mouth, heart palpitations, emotional outburst, hand tremors, mental cloudiness, dilated pupils, sweating, and fainting. Someone may become hypoglycemic because they aren't eating throughout the day. The cells have no sugar in them or eating too much sugar, causing the body to crash as it had a lot of sugar in the body to start and it's used it all up. So there's no sugar in your body. As for hyperglycemic, this occurs when a person's blood sugar falls above the necessary level of the body can handle. Hyperglycemic normally occurs when there is an infection, such as strep throat, pneumonia, and an infection or an infected foot ulcer, an intestinal virus, or urinary tract infection. Others may include stroke, heart attack, trauma, alcohol abuse, or skipping or lowering one of its insulin doses. Some symptoms of hyperglycemic are frequent urination, sugar in the urine, headache, blurry vision, fatigue. This means you may need to keep better with your eating habits and exercise more often. Also try limiting getting sick, therefore washing hands for germs to be washed away. However, regards to symptoms of hypoglycemic and hyperglycemic, a lot of signs and symptoms are the same upon onset of diabetes, such as frequent trips to the washroom. If insulin is absent, the kidneys cannot filter glucose back to the blood. Therefore, your kidneys will become overwhelmed, causing them to draw extra water from the blood to dilute the glucose. This keeps your bladder full, and it may keep you running to the bathroom. Super thirsty. You could be drinking the right amount of water and still be feeling the need to drink more as you feel thirsty. If let's try this again. If your body is using the water from the blood to dilute the glucose, you will be running to the washroom more. This means you will be dehydrated and will feel the need to drink more water that you are losing. Another sign is losing weight without trying. Wouldn't that be nice? This symptom is noticeable with type 1 diabetes. Type 1 is when the pancreas stops making insulin, which may be from an viral attack on the pancreas cells, or because the body will attack the insulin-produced cells. Therefore, the body will look for another source of energy to start breaking down muscle and fat for energy. Type 2 happens gradually with increasing insulin resistance, so weight loss is not as noticeable. Weakness and fatigue. Glucose from the food we eat goes into the bloodstream where insulin is meant to help transition into the cells of our body. The cells used to produce the energy we will need to live. But when the insulin isn't there, or if the cells don't react anymore, the glucose stays outside the cells on the bloodstream. This means the cells become energy starved and you start to feel run down or tired. Tingling or numbness in your hands, feet, or legs. This symptom is called neuropathy. It occurs generally over time as your hyperglycemic. This damages the nerve system, mostly in the extremities. Type 2 diabetes is where people are normally aware that they have it and the blood sugar might not have been higher than an average in a few years. This could cause nerve damage, and nephropathy can improve when blood sugar is controlled. A story about my grandfather, and kind of funny one actually, we joke about it quite often, but I remember when my grandma went out and bought this cinnamon tea, as she heard that cinnamon cures diabetes, and she made my grandfather drink a pot of it. Now every year for Christmas, we give her cinnamon tea. Yeah, she's funny. Cinnamon may help diabetes, but it won't cure diabetes. We laugh about this all the time. Also, when I was younger, my grandfather would always ask us grandkids to take the needle for him. After we had all said no, he would insert the needle in his stomach, and as 10 pairs of eyes watched, he would jump. And we would jump, and then we would all laugh. I remember that, and now that I'm older and I have littler cousins, they do it as well. So, although diabetes is serious, it can be made a little bit funny. I mean, you do have to live with it. So I hope you were very informed with my speech. I want to thank you for coming and listening, and thanks.